without further ado, how are you doing? I feel like my arm, or, well, I don't know. I think what it is my desk is just really not ergonomically um, or properly measured to like my ergonomic needs. I don't know why I'm having problems with that word. Anywho, and I feel like one of my arms gets more tired than the other, or maybe I'm just leaning on that hand, like the one that grasps your mouse. Anywho, I am literally just talking. Anywho, darlings, how are y'all doing? It has been a week, and then some more, and then of course it's going to be some more. And I am happy to say that we are halfway done with the year. That means we have overcome so much in this half of the year that's gone by, and it's all behind us. And I'm sure a lot of us are still trying to overcome yesterday's anxieties and perhaps, future anxieties. And I hope that each one of you guys remember that you are all kinds of fabulous and every day's anxiety is sufficient for it. And don't feel bad if you have to sometimes sidestep and choose yourself so as not to lose yourself. I know that a lot of times society will say, "Oh, you know what? That would be like a minus for you, or that would be like what's this now? A step down for you, or just continue where you are because then you would look bad to other people." But remember, before you can choose somebody else, you have to first choose you because you can't take care of somebody else until you take care of you. All right, then. That was just your Auntie Sarcy going off on a tangent. And I actually had this, I think a couple of days ago, that I noted this. This is another of Diddy's, and I'm sure there will be more in the upcoming days, months, or what have you. Rolling Stones investigates Diddy. It's the 6 month, I believe, investigation by the Rolling Stone reporters. And wow, right? That is wild. Like, who knew? Who knew? Because Diddy's former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, she had filed a lawsuit against him in November 2023. So, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. So, they would have had to begin this investigation just before she filed, or like right at the cusp. Because from November to this date, it's only 7 months. So I'm just saying, wow, okay. Those reporters smelled blood in the water and they were like, diving right in. Anywho, so who knew, right? Who knew that Rolling Stone reporters were quietly, and I mean quietly, working under the radar, trying to piece together a multifaceted deep dive into the early adult years of Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P. Diddy, and aka, what is it now? Brother Love? Something like that. And it's so wild because there was no leak of this. Like, that is what's more startling is there was no leak and it just drops. It's almost like the Cassie lawsuit where you didn't really hear about it, and then suddenly it was like, boom, dropped. Shoot, dang it, I forgot to click it again. What else is new? So again, it's no secret. that people have been airing their experiences with Diddy, good or bad, and his squad for years to no avail. Like people thought these people were just out to harass him or, just kind of wanted to be in the spotlight in some way. And these have largely been from like the same people who've accused him of years of alleged abuse. So the investigation included a reported some 50 plus sources, many of whom spoke on the condition of anonymity out of fear of retribution because, hello, you can never be too careful, right? And we can't blame them. So while the report is exhaustive, as any thoroughly researched investigation should be, it was very long. It really was long. We will instead just focus on the highlights. So, even though these are just highlights, these accusations and or experiences as retold by the people who have experienced these are wild and just wow, these claims, oof, buckle up, darlings, buckle up. So first, his girlfriend from Howard University. It has been, I think, circulated that Diddy had gone to Howard University in his younger years for a year or two. I'm not even sure why he left. It has been largely said that he left to become an A&R. Um, what do you call this? To work in A&R. I forgot the term. Shoot, I'm sorry. But anywho, he left college to work in A&R. So this story is apparently of his former girlfriend from Howard University. And this tells of allegations of abuse, which has been permeating the air around him since at least his ex girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, came forward and filed a lawsuit against him. However, those who knew him much earlier, as in like during his college days, tell of a similar instance per the report, Rolling Stone report, that Diddy allegedly appeared outside the school's Harriet Tubman Quad dorm and was belligerently screaming at his then girlfriend to come out of her dorm. And when she did, I don't know. It didn't say what the issue was, what the reason was. That he was like screaming at her to come out of her dorm. And when she did, it was as told to the Rolling Stones reporters, he proceeded to strike his then girlfriend with a belt multiple times. Like he was beating her with a belt. Like, hello? And those who witnessed the attack stated that obviously the woman was clearly terrorized. I mean, I would have been holy hell. And although others tried to come to her rescue, um, it still, left a substantial trauma in her. Substantial is not even a word to use in this. I mean, oof, terrorizing her in that way. So the alleged victim in the attack declined to air her side for this report when reached out for comment. This part of the report was given by others who were witnesses to the actual attack. I feel so bad for her, and I'm sure that there's good and bad days for her to, and then now having this in the mainstream media to have to relive this, something so life altering as this, as that, I'm sure, all she wants to do is just continue on with her life privately. Next highlight is Diddy's alleged jealousy of Tupac and Biggie's friendship. No, those who know Tupac and Biggie were like the East Coast and West Coast, right? Um, is it the East Coast and West Coast? Big hip hop stars. But regardless of which, they were huge stars. Tupac being a sort of like, how should I put it? He was really ahead of his time. He had like bars. He just could. He had that sort of um, persona where you just like you get attracted to his swag, to his like. Not to mention, obviously, he's very talented, but um, but he also didn't seem like somebody who would be um, the kind of like I guess person who would be the opposite of what he portrays like in front of the camera. Like he doesn't seem to be like an a thug that would like be quick to use his hands against like a person, a woman, anybody. I guess is what I'm trying to say. So anywho, so this one is from the former president of Bad Boys. His name is Kirkland Burroughs, who surmised that Tupac was actually closer to Biggie and had no interest in being friends with Diddy, which started to grow legs. The jealousy started to grow legs. And he also added that Diddy and Bad Boys executives pushed Biggie to write a certain song or certain songs following the ambush of Tupac in Times Square in 1994, and that was the song "Who Shot Ya," which was released the following year. Although Biggie, per Kirkland Burroughs, attempted to clarify that the song actually wasn't directed at Tupac, but the growing enmity between the two had begun as Tupac obviously had to release a response song, a diss record titled Hit 'Em Up, which further inflamed the hostilities between himself and Biggie. Arguably, people would say that Diddy and Death Row Records, the founder of Death Row Records, Suge Knight, intentionally played a part in the growing intense rivalry between the hip hop rappers, which ultimately, unfortunately, led to their untimely deaths. I mean, could you imagine though if Tupac and Biggie were still, um, alive and still making records? I mean, wow. Oof. They definitely can teach these new kids how to write, how to set bars, and how to act, and everything else. Anywho, continuing on. Rolling Stone cover 1997. This is what the cover that should have been Biggie, but Diddy instead took. Allegedly. Allegedly in 1997, Rolling Stones approached Bad Boy Records about a cover opportunity months after Biggie's murder, as claimed still by Kirkland Burroughs. And this is for Biggie to actually be on the cover, to memorialize him on the cover of Rolling Stones. That allegedly didn't sit right with Diddy, though, because he wanted to instead be on the cover to help promote his debut album, No Way Out. Per Burroughs, he told Diddy to make it about Biggie and that Diddy will have a chance for a cover in the future, like and not that specific time, but that Diddy's response was like, "Hell to the now, he's already dead." Damn, I thought Diddy and Biggie were like BFFs. I mean, isn't that what he was portraying when he was doing that song "I'll Be Missing You" with Faith Evans? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. He said that he was putting out the album in July, and he needed to be on the cover of Rolling Stones. I'm just saying, like if it's true, my gosh, you're some kind of best friend. I'm just saying. And the next one is the alleged beatdown by Diddy of Island Def Jam music exec Shakir Stewart. Per Rolling Stone, When the industry gathered for L.A. Reid's wedding in Italy in the summer 2000, Diddy went to the music exec's room, Shakir Stewart, and allegedly broke a chair on his head, as confirmed by Stewart's mother and his two close friends. Per Stewart's mother, Portia, her son was left bleeding on the hotel floor in Italy and have had to have stitches where Diddy allegedly threatened his life too. Portia also claims that it is when she was advised, this is the time when she advised her son to leave the business, as that man, referring to Diddy, is crazy. I mean, hello, dirt? Stewart would later die of a self inflicted gunshot wound to the head on November 1st, 2008, sadly. And what led to the decision, we'll never know, unfortunately. Unfortunately, he lost his life in that way. But we know that the assault was during his time with the late Kim Porter. Kim Porter being Diddy's longtime um, girlfriend who was dating Stewart at the time. And of course, Kim Porter dating Stewart at the time likely angered Diddy, even though Diddy and Kim Porter had been broken up during that specific time. Next, we have that time when Diddy allegedly attacked a woman inside Bad Boy's office. Per the Rolling Stone, in 1994, apparently a fight between two women somehow ended up being Diddy allegedly beating a woman, as Kirkland Burroughs recalls for the investigative team. He further alleges that he and another former employee, Felicia Newsom, the first manager of Bad Boy's recording studio, Daddy's House, mm, uh-huh, had to hold Diddy back by the waist to keep him from eating this girl's behind. Not in that way, like physically assaulting her, basically. Note that the alleged victim declined the Rolling Stone request for comment. Next is his alleged ties to the infamous Black Mafia family. This was per the federal investigators, as told to Rolling Stones, that they are looking. Wow, okay, they're looking into Diddy's alleged ties to the infamous Black Mafia family cartel after another victim, publicly named Detroit Jane Doe, alleged in her suit that the group is rumored to have had backed up Bad Boy Records. Mm. Diddy's dad, this is the next one, is Diddy's dad's alleged ties with Harlem drug kingpin. It must be noted, though, that Diddy's dad, Melvin Combs, died when Diddy was a toddler, but it also has been alleged that the senior Combs had worked for a notorious Harlem drug kingpin, which the Rolling Stone article didn't name drop, but in an MTV interview in 2007 with famed New York City drug lord Frank Lucas alleges that he and Melvin Combs were actually good friends and they were also business partners. So you handle that how you want to handle it. Next, we have Heavy D. Heavy D gave allegedly Diddy a leg up in securing the job at Uptown Records. Like, isn't it great though that he had a friend who, even though Heavy D was then a Uptown record artist that is up and coming and was actually neighbors with Diddy at the time, helped him get an interview with Uptown Records, where eventually Diddy would drop out of school and became the mentee to the then CEO Andre Harrell in 1990. This is according to former Uptown Record A&R VP Kurt Woodley. Hello, they would know, right? I mean, they weren't there for nothing. The celebrity basketball game night that killed 9 people in 1991. So this was previously reported by The Root in December 1991 that Diddy and rapper Heavy D had helped organize a charity basketball game at City College of New York. Unfortunately, though, there was a stampede that resulted in 9 people dead and dozens other injured. Initially, Diddy tried to avoid responsibility, but NYC Mayor David Dinkins at the time ultimately faulted him for lack of planning and reckless over promotion, which led to the injuries of many event goers in the space. I don't know if he had to pay a fine. I don't know if he settled with, like, I don't know, civil suits or what have you. That has not been mentioned in the Rolling Stone report. And moving on. Diddy allegedly assaulted Steve Stout in 1999. Good lord, Mr. Sir. Shaysnets, keep your hands to yourself. The alleged assault on Interscope Records exec Steve Stout occurred in 1999 after a music video of rapper Nas's song titled Hate Me Now was sent to MTV, which included a crucifixion scene where Diddy was in. Per Steve Stout, as told to the LA Times at the time, Diddy punched him in the face, then grabbed his phone, bashed him in the head with it, and in 1 minute, he was like in the middle of a meeting, and the next, he was on the floor being kicked about by Diddy and his guys, where one actually picked up a chair and threw it at him. And at the end of the alleged assault, Diddy threw a desk over, and the group walked out like nothing happened. Holy cow, sir! What the? Combs did later privately settle with Stout for a reported $500,000. Honestly, what the hell? It's like, my gosh. And these are not just allegations from like lower ranking people either. These are executives of these like music record companies. Holy jeez, nuts. Diddy's alleged harassment of an employee. This is the next one. Freelance graphic artist designer. Um, she will be going by the pseudonym Anna. Alleged she was intimately harassed in 2001 at a party thrown by Diddy at the Peninsula Hotel to celebrate his acquittal in the infamous nightclub shooting. Per Rolling Stone, Diddy had approached alias Anna and began to massage her shoulders. Note that the alleged victim requested a pseudonym, citing fear of retribution, as well as her arms and her back, and she didn't want him to be touching her at all. She further claims that Diddy asked if she liked that, and he said that he knows that she likes that, as she recalls. She claims to have told him no, she doesn't like that. She doesn't like that, not so much, and went to great lengths to avoid Diddy the rest of the night. And then weeks later, she said that her boss's girlfriend confided in her that Diddy had allegedly approached the boss that same night of the party to solicit alias Anna for sex, which was confirmed by a friend of Anna's that she had indeed shared about the encounter and proposed arrangement when they began to work together a few years later. It is noted, however, that the boss did not return Rolling Stones' request for an interview, and neither did the girlfriend give her permission to comment. So, next is Diddy's alleged abuse of, this is the last one, of model Gina Hine. The model claims to have been dating Diddy in 2014, and she alleged during an interview with YouTuber Tasha K back in 2019 that she was abused by Diddy, including Diddy offering her to terminate a pregnancy in 2014 for $50,000, and Diddy allegedly shoving her to the ground and dragging her by her hair in 2018. I mean, have we not seen the video of Cassie being shoved to the ground and dragged? Hello. And in another alleged incident, in a jealous rage, Diddy once stomped on her stomach. I'm not sure if like she was pregnant at the time or not, but Hine also declined to comment for this Rolling Stone piece and has since remained tight-lipped. Isn't this the girl that Young Miami was like trying to beef with because of this interview, and she was so gung ho that Gina would have done anything that Diddy would have wanted her to do? In retrospect, it's like, where's Young Miami now? Didn't she just put, a hell of a distance between her and Diddy? I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Anywho, darlings, anywho, that is all that I have for you now. Thank you again for continuing to watch my videos, even though it's a really, really small boutique channel. It's nothing special. I don't do anything special to it. But thank you so, so much for subscribing. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please consider subscribing for my little time to my little tiny boutique channel, YouTube channel. And for those of you who have been subscribed, thank you so, so very much for continuing to be a subscriber. Darlings, remember, you're all kinds of fabulous. So there is nothing you can do but be your fabulous self. And try to remember to leave grace for others and to also remember to journey in gratitude. I shall talk to you all, my darlings, later. To live for now. Bye.